What if a guy had everything you wanted but bad sex?
Yeah. No.
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 Do you think like we're sold a dream? Like you can't have everything. So it's like we want a guy that's good at sex, good career, but also good at sex but doesn't talk to a bunch of girls to get good at sex. Tall, makes good money. and we don't want to compete for them.
And here's a secret that many guys don't know, especially in today's day and age, is that women love nice guys. We may not understand how much we love and appreciate them until we're a little older, and we've gotten that sort of asshole phase out of our systems. I'd say by our late 20s, early 30s is the point in our lives when we're just exhausted by the jerks and we have no time in our lives anymore for them. So we really start looking for men who we know will be great long-term partners, aka nice guys, right? And that's you.
Welcome, my friends, to another episode of the RP Experience. Peace and love to my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on notifications so that you know when I have released a new video. Today's video is going to be about, and this is more for men. Women can look, they can agree or disagree, but today's video is about what women choose in dating versus what they say. So I know I've said this in some of my other videos that I generally do not believe a woman when she is saying what she's looking for with a partner. Yes, some of them know, but unfortunately, it takes a lot of them till they get like mid-30s or 40s to really get a clue of what they want. And by then, it's going to be really hard for them because the guys that have a lot going on around that time, they're going to go a little bit younger or definitely prettier and not as much baggage. So, just to clear that up. But I will often hear women, whether they're in their early 20s or mid 20s or early 30s, they will say like, well, I want a nice guy that treats me good and courts me, and they don't always say they want a guy to treat them like a queen, but talking amongst their girlfriends, they will say things like that. That's another insight thing because I've been around both men and women, and unfortunately, when I'm around a bunch of women and they don't know that I'm there or they forget I'm there, the things that you will hear them say will have you scratching your head, especially when they are talking about their relationship or talking about men that they are with. And of course, though, probably the guy has messed up, but however, the fact of how they're talking about him and how awful he is, and yet they are with them, tells me that it has to be some things with them, and they are just taking advantage of that poor dude. Well, in some cases. I always notice when a girl's not talking, but she has a bunch of friends around her telling her that the guy is treating her bad, that not in all cases, but in at least half of those cases, they're probably right that the guy is wrong for them, but she's kind of either making excuses for him or defending him. And that's not always a bad thing, because sometimes she's defending a good dude, but they want her to be with a guy that's like a celebrity, or that's like jumping through hoops or something. Or maybe low key they like the guy, one of them like the guy, and they trying to break them up. I mean, you can never tell with that kind of stuff. It's kind of like when guys is talking to a girl about her partner or significant other or husband or boyfriend or whatever term that y'all are using. Most of the time, those dudes will say something bad about him or something, even if he's friends with him. That's why, I don't always trust dudes when it comes to women if you have an attractive woman, because I've been betrayed by guys that I've known for years. Not my core best friends I grew up in high school, but guys that I met post like military and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think I can trust most of them when it comes to like a beautiful woman. Anyway, I have a video here. It's actually two videos here. There's one real short one, and then there's one where a woman is saying something that you really need to hear. Fellas, let's go.
You're the nice guy that keeps watching the girl you like get attached to toxic men. You might want to listen up. Today, we're talking about why women love toxic men. Whew, I'm gonna need it. Now, the obvious is that we want to change them. Think of that one thing you were never able to achieve in life. And remember how it felt so good when you finally succeeded? That's why. We want the experience of successfully attaining that thing we couldn't get. When something isn't easy to get, we want it more. Next, usually we feel bad for them. It's not so easy to leave them when we become so invested in their story. Usually this story involves some level of loneliness, and we feel like if we leave them, even though they'll run straight to the next girl, at the end of the day, they'll wind up alone. And the thought of that makes us feel guilty. We like the intensity. Healthy relationships don't have those same intense feelings of toxic relationships. There's no peaks and valleys. It's pretty stable. Although there are low lows in a toxic relationship, the dopamine during those highs becomes addicting. We don't feel like we can get anyone else. Usually that feeling becomes more prevalent the longer you're with a toxic guy. You can't imagine yourself starting over. And the thought of being alone is really scary. And that person has convinced us that they're great, and we believe it. Although it's frustrating to watch people you care about wind up in this cycle, if you're a non-toxic guy watching this, there's hope. This cycle doesn't last forever, and I'm an example of that. You eventually hit an exhaustion point of no return. And although there's a lot of healing to be done after the fact, the good guy always wins.
2 years on that.
Damn. Don't listen to what women say, watch what they do. Because a woman will show you exactly what she's attracted to if you just watch how she sexually responds to whatever. When it comes to men, a woman will tell you what she believes makes her a good person about what she's attracted to. But her vagina doesn't think that way. Her vagina responds to what nature has taught it to respond to. Damn. Don't listen to what women say, watch what they do.
Facts. Facts right there. I'm pretty sure it's not every woman, but I do think the younger she is, the more she will get into this cycle of picking the wrong guys. And to women out there, okay, come here. Listen up. I understand. It's hard to pick, especially if you are a beautiful woman, because you have lots of guys coming at you and they're on their best behavior. And you can afford to be picky because every guy is showing you their best self. Well, most of them. The other guys are showing you excitement and I guess fun and good times. So because of that, I think a man's character starts getting real low on the totem pole, or the fact that he's nice. Even though, yes, there are men that's just being nice because they're trying to get into your legs too. But as I say, that is one of our main motivations with even dealing with you women in the first place. Sexual attraction. Now, I will think that is quite a few guys that's like myself, that there are women that's unattainable. They're in relationships. They are married. They make a lot more than you do. And even though you women say that doesn't matter, it does matter, because a lot of you want the man to be above you, especially in finances, in height, and in strength, and being able to weather and take stuff. So yeah, you want a guy to be like more. Now, I'm not sure how it works in lesbian relationships. I guess it's a little bit more even, but however, though, with women that I know that have went that way, or they are bi, they go through almost the same thing as us men go through dealing with a lot of women. I'm not going to say all women because I'm pretty sure out of these billions of women out here, there is women that would be like a perfect match with me, not only personality wise, attraction wise, and chemistry wise, but also be able to align with me with like life goals and things that I'm trying to do and things that she's trying to do that I'm supporting her with. So, yes, it's a jungle out there, but I do think we make it harder than what we could. Now, men make this mistake once they get money, because once they get money and status, and unless if you are Chad and Tyrone already, you have women coming at you more easily. And then in turn, we have that same thing that women have with too much choice and too much abundance. And therefore, a lot of us will start becoming assholes, taking advantage of the situation, trying to live life to the fullest. We don't want to settle down because we're having fun. We are smashing and dashing. But I could do that, especially as my life is starting to get like better and better. But I have a conscience, and I believe in karma. Even if you don't believe in karma, I do believe what you put out in the universe or you do to people is going to come back to you in some way, shape, or form. Whether they come back and they try to stab you, or either, you come across somebody and they do the same exact thing that you did to somebody else. I know that happens to me, but maybe because I believe in it. I think if you have no conscience or morals, then you probably can just do things with impunity and nothing happens to you. But for those of you that are not psychopaths or even sociopaths to a degree and heavily narcissistic, even though I do think people that's narcissistic, you have to realize everybody has feelings. That's somebody's, well, that could be your brother, that could be your sister, that could be your child or something like that. Treat people like you want them to treat you. And even if you don't think too much of yourself, try to treat people like good. But of course, though, have boundaries and make sure they deserve that particular thing, But back on that thing of when women be saying they want a certain type of guy or something, I think it's true, but you want that guy to come in a certain type of package. You want him to be 6'2". You want him to have you may not want him to have a Lamborghini. I mean, smart women would not want the man to have too much money and status, because the same way social media is bad for y'all, too much money and social status, unless if the man gets that money kind of later in his life, a lot of us is going to act like a kid in a candy store. So that's why I would usually say, if I was a woman, I would stay away from the basketball players or the football players, the rappers and stuff like that, unless if you're just trying to marry them, and once they mess up or you decide to leave, you're going to take a bunch of money, which I believe a lot of women do that. You know, they may not start off doing that, but of course, though, they have some girlfriends in their ear or people telling them things that they can do. That's the way that they are going to do this. Now, I think women should be more honest with themselves. If you want a bad boy or a thug, then go ahead and do it. There are some black women that will probably say that's what they want, then fine. But however, don't whine later, and don't come for a guy like me when you have like 5 kids, even 2 or 3. You know, my thing is probably I'll let one pass, but once you get like multiple kids and I know you're going to want me to fill a role and step right in and start providing. Pretty sure you're not going to be reciprocating or taking care of me except in the beginning. Except in the beginning of the relationship when you're trying to lock me down. So, you know, don't come for me later when your life is a mess and then you want me. That's kind of like, okay, I'll use this as an example for women to understand. Women that like to have fun in their early 20s and go to 3 or 4 phases and be with this guy and that guy. And then later you want to settle down with a good guy, a nice guy, a gentleman or something. That is like me when, you know, I get millions of dollars. And then, you know, I'm living life fast and loose. Then I blow through all that money and then I'm broke. And then I want a good woman and a woman to stand by me. Whereas I could have more easily had picked her, not easily because there's going to be a lot of women in there that don't have good intentions, but it would have been easier when I had my life together. But now I want to do it with my life in disarray. So that's the same thing when women all of a sudden want a good dude, and you had plenty of time when you was young and sexy and beautiful and living the life, but you didn't want it then. You wanted it when either you're getting close to that 30 mark or either a little bit past there, or especially if you have kids, then you want to do it. And as I say, I understand sometimes women will make a mistake, you know, well, not with the kid, but with picking the guy or something. But if you're making multiple mistakes and you have a lot of kids out of wedlock or something, I'm sorry, that says something about you. Same thing as a guy, just in case I had like 10 baby moms and kids all over the place. That says something about me. Now, women may not care if I'm a future or a rap star or something like that, but you should care because that means I'm not going to treat you that much better. Anyway, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I should have one coming soon. Peace out.
These wrong with you going out there, find a regular 9-to-5 person? You can function underneath that, because I'm always hearing the women say, oh, we ain't got enough money. Work with what the man's got. You can make a man your alpha. Everybody wants to go and find these top earning money. Find a 9-to-5, work regular, save your money, learn to cook and not have takeouts, and then save your money as they did before.
Then you should direct this to the men that feel upset because they're not like
the man.
No,
Why?
she's completely right. I'll tell you this. There's not a girl on this panel or on the planet today who couldn't walk outside and find a man who's going to be nice to her, loyal to her, and make her his queen. Women don't want that. So they'll sit there and go, no, I want Chris Brown. And then they'll go try and get Chris Brown. Then Chris Brown will cheat. And they'll be like, I can't believe you cheated. I am devastated. Well, what the fuck do you think's going to happen?
I still wanna run to you. Am I breaking through? Do you feel me too? Kendall made it.